Hey, Dan and Justin here. Today we're going to show you how to do an inexpensive green screen studio for your own special effects. For a green screen studio, the first thing you need is a reasonable amount of space. This area in our basement's perfect. It's about 12 feet wide, nothing in the way, so it's just what we're looking for. But we also need something to cover our green screen area with, and yeah, that means some green material. One thing, of course, before you go out and buy all this fabric, is to buy a chunk that you can use for a test. Most fabric stores will let you buy about a half meter of this stuff. It'll only cost you a couple of bucks. Then you can hang it, do some test shots, make sure it's actually going to work. Don't forget, different cameras are going to pick up green different ways. They're all going to have different sensitivities, so that the actual color of green that you buy might actually be different than the kind of camera you're using. So always buy a test piece first. You don't want to go out and buy like 15 meters of this stuff and discover it's not going to work for you. Now here's a tip for all you green screeners. When you get your material home, don't hang it right away. Inevitably, it's been stored and you're going to have a huge crease right down the middle because it's usually stored folded. So, take it out and iron it. All of it. Sounds like a lot of work, but you only got to do it once and you'll have a way flatter and smoother green screen when you're finished. So, take the time and do the job right. Now that we've got our material selected and all ironed out and ready to go, we're ready to finish hanging it up down here. So we're going to take this part that we've rolled up and ironed and made as smooth as we possibly can, and we're going to hang it up in the basement here along with these other two sheets that we've already put up. Now this is a reasonably permanent installation, although you could, I suppose, hang it on some doweling that we've done here just to roll up the ends. You could do the same thing. You could hook the other end of the doweling and then you can hang it up so it's temporary. But because we want to keep it relatively tight, we're actually going to staple it up against the wall to keep the material as smooth and flat as we possibly can. Okay, we've got our green screen material all up, we've got some lights on it. One thing, it doesn't look all that green yet. Why? Well, you saw how green it was when you were ironing it, so there's obviously something not working quite right here. Problem is our lighting. First of all, I'm not very well lit at all, and the background is lit too well. Part of that's because we haven't got the exposure setting. The biggest thing is we haven't set the white balance on the camera. If we set the white balance properly, the camera's going to pick up all the colors properly, and everything should look a lot better. So first thing we're going to do is I'm going to step back here. We're going to get some extra light on the subject. Got this nice white card. Now you see what happened there? We light up the white and all of a sudden everything changes. Quite a bit, as a matter of fact. See the difference? This is a pure white card. So now if we take it out, the camera may try and adjust again, but this is all automatic. So now everything is set. You'll see how much greener the background looks. I'm better lit, only from one side right now, but everything looks a heck of a lot better. So now we're ready to actually try shooting some green screen stuff and see what happens. So now we've got the white balance set, we've got ourselves lit, the background is lit, we've got the lights for the background actually set off to the side. We're actually almost parallel with them so that we don't throw shadows on the green screen, because the shadow will kill you. It's almost impossible to get rid of one once it's there, so you know what? Get rid of it now, save yourself the trouble in post-production later. So we've got ourselves done here, and Justin's actually very conveniently wearing something that's got a little bit of something that's close to green. It's not the same green, but we're going to see what we can do with it to get rid of it in post-production. Now, one other thing to keep in mind is how you're actually lighting your talent. For example, keep the background in mind. If the background looks something like this, all around lighting like this is probably fine. However, for something where the lighting's a little bit different, like this, it doesn't look quite right, does it? That's because of all the shadows. There's a long shadow coming from the one side, so we have to kind of simulate that with our talent lighting. So what we're going to do is turn this guy down. So that most of our lighting is now coming from the same side as our background. Looks a lot better, doesn't it? That's half the trick. So now you can build yourself a green screen studio, have some fun with your own special effects. Word or two about lighting. It's important. Go figure. You probably figured that out already. But you know what? You need a lot of light to do this in a reasonable fashion. Now what we've done is we've gone cheap. Gee, there's a shocker. And we've got these flood lamps. These are 500-watt flood work lamps, basically. Get them at Home Depot. They're like 14 bucks a piece. Real nice. Work just great. Now one thing we've done just to help out, and you may or may not choose to do this, we've actually wired up some dimmers. These are 600-watt household dimmers. Work for standard household lights in your home. And what we've done is wired them up with an outlet to allow us to do a couple of things. First of all, we can adjust the brightness of the light up and down, which is helpful to help get some control. Also, by gradually bringing the lights up, you're actually saving some wear and tear in the filaments and the bulbs, and your lights will last longer. So a little helpful tip there about some lighting.